through to the stand-up police, please.
Are you reporting an incident?
No, I'm not. No, I'm just speaking to the beat. Is it the beat team or something like that?
Try the line.
Right, did I just speak to you a moment ago? I just, the phone went dead because the battery was running out.
Alright, was it PC Rutherford you spoke to?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah.
Alright,
I got a visit from him yesterday. But what I was concerned about was, first of all, what's happening with this pub watch meeting, and that I haven't been seen about making a statement, because apparently I may or may not have been put on pub watch, but apparently it was decided that I was to be put on pub watch. I've since gave the police a couple of videos, a receipt of a contract that he had with me. This is concerning the chap who runs the Black Horse, and that he's had us put on pub watch and stuff.
Right, Andrew, I'll just pass you over to PC Rutherford.
Why am I speaking to PC Rutherford? I've not spoke to him about this. He's not aware of what is going on with all of this. Who I have spoke to though is a PC Blackett.
Oh, PCSO Blackett.
Yeah.
Oh, alright.
I think that's the lady and somebody else that I gave the...
Well, Mick Rutherford's the town law beat officer, so I'll pass you over to him.
All right.
About it. Hello, Mr. Maggie. Mick Rutherford.
I spoke to you yesterday when you wanted to search my house on a phone call. Is that right? Oh, well, I'm phoning about the other thing that I told you about on my front doorstep about the landlord of the Black Horse, and I'd like to find out what's going on about that and why anybody hasn't been to see me, because apparently I was put on the on the pub watch list, and I've spoke to the licensing officer and explained to them what the situation was. I've also given the police is it PC Blackett?
PCSO Blackett.
Right. Has had videos of him contradicting what he said in the pub watch meeting to what actually did happen, and the fact that nobody's even came and asked me for a statement, which I've got written up and ready to go, but I don't seem to know where it needed to be forwarded to or anything like that.
Right. Are you referring to the memory stick that you passed to someone?
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
Right, so
right.
How do you go about doing that, Mr. Maggie?
Sorry?
How do you go about doing that? How do you pass the memory stick over to the...
No, I've already gave you the memory stick, and you've already taken the video footage of that. But I've had no reply as to the result or the conclusion as to what's been made based on the video evidence that I've gave you about what he claimed in the pub watch meeting, and also for the next pub watch meeting, it needs to be heard my version of the story at the end of the day and what exactly happened, because this guy is making up lies basically.
Who did you give the memory stick to?
Sorry?
Who did you give the memory stick to?
PC Blackett. I know you've had a recording of it because it was the lady who runs the club, the EXCLUDE, who actually gave you it, because I gave it to her to listen to, because he was going around the village telling everybody that I was smoking cannabis in his pub.
Alex's bar, you mean?
Yes. Yeah, Alex's bar. Sorry, yeah.
Right. Who did you hand the memory stick to? You didn't hand it to PCSO Blackett, did you?
Well, I actually walked into the club as she was handing it over to the police officers, which was PC Blackett.
When you say she, who's that?
Is it a lady, PC Blackett, a blonde-haired lady, and there was a chap that was working with her.
But did you directly hand the memory stick to her, or did you hand it to somebody else?
No, this was to do with the pub watch meeting, right? And I spoke to the licensing officer, which was Ellis...
PC Ellis Hutchinson.
Hutchinson, yeah.
He's not the licensing officer, he's a neighbourhound police officer who attends the licensee meetings.
Oh, right. So he's the guy I really need to speak to then, isn't it?
Have you spoken to our licensing unit? Because you mentioned before when you phoned that you want to speak to the licensing unit. This isn't the licensing unit.
Right.
A number for the licensing unit.
No, I want to speak to the police and see what's happened with this video footage and whether it's going to be put into the next meeting, because I went back to the point where me and my wife go and have meals and stuff, and he had informed me that I was getting put on the pub watch, but they hadn't received any paperwork through, so he didn't know whether it had been held off until this evidence that I've put forward and made a statement here for the pub watch meeting as to what happened, and the fact that he's basically lying and making stories up about carry on to get out of a contract that he's had with me. Now I've gave you the police copies of that as well to show that he was in a contract with me. He's used the excuse of barring me over a conversation about cannabis and the fact that his son was using cannabis and is in debt with drug dealers in the area. He from there took offence and decided to bar me. He's since then gone to the pub watch meeting and blatantly lied to not only the police but the pub watch organisation itself and the licensing officer. He's and I suspect from the visit from me yesterday, somebody in his circle of people have made another call, to say that I'm drug dealing from this house, which, like I said to you yesterday, you need to, I'm not prepared to let you into my girlfriend's house and search the house over a phone call, but I'll tell you a fact, mate. You can put up secure surveillance around the house, no problem, and you'll soon learn that I'm not drug dealing from this house, and that whoever has called you up needs to be investigated yourself for wasting police time. Okay?
Yeah, Mr. Mack, the person who phoned the police to pass this information was anonymous.
Yeah, and with the technology of the police force, surely you can trace that call anyway.
Well, I don't know about that, but we are duty bound to come to your house and speak to you about the allegations that have been made. Well,
I do know that you can trace phone calls and records and stuff like that, and I strongly suggest that you maybe do that, because for the police themselves to find out who this person is. Surely people, when you knocked on my door and wanted to search the house yesterday, it reminded me of films I watched during the Second World War in Nazi Germany, where they can just bang on your door and demand to search the house. We're not far off that, are we? Do you know what I mean? It's quite scary how the system is working, so people can just maliciously phone the police and have your house searched, eh?
Well, I think you requested for a house search and you declined, and that was the end of it.
Sorry, who requested for a house search?
The police officer who attended yesterday requested that you allow them to search the house. You declined that.
That's right, I did, yeah.
Therefore, your house wasn't searched. Yeah,
that's correct, yeah. Another query I've got about that is, what's the next step forward on that? At the end of the day, I'm gonna get a visit off you guys now with a warrant. It's quite scary to know that somebody can phone the police and get the police's attention on somebody else over a phone call.
We just go back to the memory stick thing, Mr. Maggie.
Well, this is all part of it. I think, to be honest with you. But yes, we can go back to the memory stick if you like to talk about that.
Right, when you hand the memory stick over to whoever you handed to, you told me you handed it to PCSO Blackett.
I think it was PCSO Blackett. I'm not entirely sure.
My understanding is it was given to the...
There's only one lady who works in Town Law with blonde hair, and there was a chap that was working with me who had black hair.
I would imagine it is PCSO Blackett, but what I'm trying to establish is, did you not give this memory stick to the manager of the Alex's bar?
That's right, yeah, and she handed it over to them.
In your presence?
Yeah, in my presence, yeah.
Did you give some instructions to PCSO Blackett with regards to the memory stick?
Well, the instructions were that it contained a conversation that he personally had with me myself, saying that he had barred me because he suspected that I might smoke cannabis on his pub, which is not a pub watchable offence, for one. You know what I mean? Okay, fair enough. If he doesn't like people who smoke cannabis, and he doesn't want them to drink in his pub because of that reason, which is the reason why he barred me, fair enough. But to have me socially excluded from the whole village, from Weardale, is a bit outrageous, really. Over a conversation about cannabis, he's gone well over the top. He's lied to the committee, the Pub Watch committee. He's lied to the police, and he's lied to the licensing people.
Has PC Hutchinson explained the appeal process to you?
No, he hasn't. Well, this is the thing, you see. Now I've got a statement sat here ready to go. There's also other people in the pub as well that I've spoke to that are willing to put statements forward as well, and I've not been approached on me having to put a case forward in the first place. I mean, surely if I'm going to be put on pub watching, socially excluded from Weardale, the area of Weardale, then surely I should be able to say my piece before this actually happens, and not it just be, been decided on a pack of lies at the end of the day.
I don't know the full ins and outs of the licensing meetings. I've never attended one before.
Right.
But do you want me to take your telephone number so PC Hutchinson to speak to you again, and maybe make arrangements to pick up this statement that you referred to try and get it to the next meeting?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's quite important. I mean, I'm sure you'd be doing the same thing if it happened to you,
Well, I think you've got every right to appeal. I'm not disputing that, Mr. Mackey. I don't know the ins and outs of the appeals process. I need to speak to PC Hutchinson to find out what it is. But I'm sure he'll be more than be prepared to come and obtain the statement that you referred to.
I mean, also within this memory stick that I gave to PC Hutchinson, I think, I'm only presuming because I'm not entirely sure which police officer, but I know it was a lady with blonde hair and another police officer with black hair. And they both were around about the same age group. I mean, so you should be able to guess what police were, or even get back in touch with the pub, and they'll surely be able to tell you who it was.
Do you have your mobile number?
Yeah, I do. It's 07904
07904
058
058
312.
312.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, and I explained, and I'll explain to yourself that there's, I think, 2 videos, and one of the videos has nothing to do with that night, but it does capture him making up stories about the position he held in.
How have these videos been obtained, Mr. Mackey?
Sorry, how have they been obtained?
Yeah.
Well, video him while we was chatting about stuff like that.
You videoed him?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
For evidence that at the end of the day...
Sorry, go on.
I've taken this video footage to protect myself from any malicious stories that he started to tell anybody else, and it's evidence as well to prove that this man has lied to your committee when he's turned around to me and said, look, there's a chance you said you might smoke cannabis in this pub, therefore I'm barring you. In the meeting he's turned around and said to the committee that I was actually smoking cannabis in his pub, yeah, and that I'd threatened him as well. We must have had a 2-3 hour conversation talking about the use of cannabis, the medical terms of cannabis, and why people socially use cannabis. And as much as myself, which I'm a user of, so is my wife, who's epileptic, and she takes that for medical purposes too. Some people just take it for socialising, but for some people it's not very good for them.
Right.
And then we got on to his son's case and being in debt with drug dealers and this, that and the other, and then it makes him slow. He didn't like what I was saying. He decided to bar me, yeah. And that's what it all boiled down to.
I think you're a different version of events from that, but I don't know exactly what they are. And then I think he suspects you were smoking cannabis on his property.
Well, that's not...
Something you'd been informed of in the past?
Sorry?
Sorry, did you hear?
Yeah.
I understand that...
Yeah.
The landlord from the Black Horse actually was there some occasion where he believed he was smoking cannabis on his property?
Oh, on what occasion? You're on about the occasion when he barred me?
Yeah.
Well, no, he knew I wasn't. Every time I went outside for a cigarette, he came outside and we stood smoking together and talking about the use of cannabis.
Okay.
He knows I wasn't smoking cannabis. I've got witnesses to prove that as well. He's just blatantly lied to me because of my opinions about cannabis. Simple as that.
It's going to be very difficult to prove now, I think, isn't it?
Well, no, it isn't, because I've got a video of him actually saying why he barred me. Right? But for me to be put on pub watch, it's not a pub watchable offence to have a conversation in a pub, unless we're living in Nazi Germany during the Second World War. If you can't express your opinions in a pub, about the use of cannabis and the medical terms of it, and how it.
The medical benefits of it.
Yeah, the medical benefits too. Say the medical benefits of alcohol, for instance. You know, we was talking about all sorts of stuff like that. He got annoyed with me.
Right.
And decided to bar me, and he shouldn't be able to put me on the pub watch list through a conversation, mate. You know, it's out of order.
Right, okay. Can I speak to PC Hutchinson to find out the exact appeals process?
Yeah.
And see if I can arrange to maybe give you, either me to give you a ring back or PC Hutchinson.
Yeah.
And we'll make arrangements to pick up the statement.
No problem.
Which I'm sure shouldn't be a problem with regards to the next meeting, to see if we can, you know, have it brought into the forum and discussed.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be sound.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for your time, Mr. Maggie.
Right.
I've got your number. I'll speak to PC Hutchinson when I see him. Just be aware, though, that he is currently on the sick. I don't know when he's going to be back, but I'm sure it'll be in the next few days.
Right.
Okay?
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
Again.
Cheers, then. Bye. Well, that's that, then. For now.